I'm back at project house number 1 and we're going to do a little year-end update here. I'm going to show you guys everything that's got done. I haven't been filming a lot over here because it's been cold, and I've just been trying to get stuff done. I haven't been focused on filming, but I'm sure as everybody can see, we finally have a roof on. There's shingles, everything's sheeted in and good to go. There was a little problem with the second contractor, so I hired another guy to come in, put the roof on. The third contractor was great, showed up on time, got it done, stayed on budget. It was great. We have these little overhangs. I got some help building those on last Monday. And then Tuesday did a little framing inside to get it ready. And then Wednesday, Christmas Eve, the new shingles went on. I went with an estate gray color and I think it turned out great. Outside here, where you see that is where the kitchen hood stack is going to be. And then there's a vent there because the washer and dryer is going to be right in here in the mud room. Kitchen sink, stove. This is going to be the kitchen, and then mud room back behind. So now I'm going to walk around and I'll show you guys the other side of the outside, and then we'll go inside. In here is going to be the mud room, and I'm really excited for how this is going to turn out. It's finally starting to take shape and look like something. And then the master bedroom is going to be in here. That's going to be a door off the master, 2 bathrooms, and then the front bedroom, you can see I have the 2 vents on the roof here. Those are going to be the bathroom vents. Then the main plumbing stack, and then we got another plumbing stack. But all in all, it sucks that the snow's here, so you can't really see the roof color. But I went with an estate gray. It's a true duration shingle, and I think it's going to look really good. So I'm going to just show you guys what all is still left to do in the plans. So obviously on the outside here, need to frame in the window here, need to get this sheeted, and my number 1 goal is going to be getting all of this sheeted, getting the sheeting replaced and the walls rebuilt outside. That's going to be my next goal, getting it all dried in. And then once all of it's dried in, all of it's good to go, then I'm going to get started on the floor system. So now walking in here, and I'm going to turn my light on, so hopefully makes it a little easier for you guys to see. So I got my light on, that should help. And I think I'm going to switch over to my wide angle lens, and it'll make it a little easier to show everything. So I'm going to switch over to that, and then I'll be right back. So now I'm back. I'm starting again, walking in the back door. And when we're coming in here, this wall here is not in the right place. They put it here in the middle. I don't know why, but it's going to be offset right in here, basically extend out of this doorway here. And then this whole space in here will be the master. And then coming around here, where this is put out, this will be the mud room. There'll be a wall right in here. So I have mud room on this side, washer and dryer under this window, the back door, and then back over here will be a little coat closet, and then that will go into the kitchen. So the wall here, we'll have some kitchen appliances on this end. It will turn, the kitchen sink will be there. This wall here will come out, and as we follow in here, this wall here will be continued back, and then we'll have another cabinet, the stove, another cabinet, and then it will end. And I'm going to put these lights back on here to give it a little bit more brightness. So that helps a good bit. So it'll end, and then right where this window's framed, that's going to be the center of the dining room. And then the dining room will open up into the kitchen. This little wall, or I'm sorry, the living room, this little wall will come out. So it's going to have one big open concept. I'm going to walk down to this other end here. And then on this side, it's going to be a bedroom. The bedroom's going to have this nice window here and another smaller window in there. I think this is really going to be an office. I'm going to frame in some maybe glass French doors here. And I think that'll be a really nice spot. And then as I loop around, you guys will see this area, living room, go in the dining room, go in the kitchen, and it's going to be a pretty big wide open space. It's about 13 feet wide, this space, and it's going to be about 38 foot deep. So it's going to be a nice big open place for all that kitchen, living room, stuff like that. And as I'm going through, if you guys have any comments, suggestions, leave them down below. There's still time for me to change a lot of this, and I'm sure there's some things that I haven't thought about that would improve this. So if you guys have any comments, let me know. And then moving on to this side, the staircase is going to come out a little bit more because I don't want it to be as steep, so I'm going to bring it out. And it's incredibly cold here today. Here my hands are freezing. It's like 20 degrees, so it's not really great weather to be working or doing anything. But I just wanted to get this video in before the end of the year, show an update, show what's got done this year, because we're officially a year into this project. So right here is going to maintain, it's going to be a bathroom. And then right in here is going to be a closet for this front bedroom. This little part here is going to come out. The fireplace, or the chimney, came out. What I think I'd like to do, and it's going to be pretty tough to envision it, but there's going to be a glass double door right here. And then this little closet area is going to be out. I think that would be to put a nice built-in fireplace, and it would kind of be like centered between the living room and the dining room. And I think that would just be nice to just give some heat and be a nice focal point of this area. And then as we walk in here, this original bedroom, there's going to be a hallway here. And this hallway is going to have a doorway right in here, and that's going to lead into the master. What I'm going to do with this space in here is turn this into a big master bathroom. So it's going to be really a huge master bathroom. And then what I'm planning on is back in here, have like a little 8-foot wide closet that's about 3 foot deep, just a little closet at the back of the bathroom. And then that's obviously, this is all going to be open up, but for the time being, I'll just come through this side, and that's going to open up to this master bedroom. And this is a really big master bedroom. And one idea I had was it could be wide open. The other idea, basically where this wall is, this wall would stay. Another wall would go 3 foot behind it, and this would just turn into a big 12-foot long closet. So I have the possibility to make this master either have a big 12-foot closet in here, or make the whole bedroom 3 foot deeper. And that's what I'm having a hard time deciding. So that's why back here there's no windows framed out, because if this wall is moved back and there's no closet in here, I was thinking about putting a window on each side and having the bed centered. But if I'm going to have the closet, I was thinking about adding some windows up higher in top here, and then having, just a little bit of windows above the bed. I'm not sure if I'll do that. I think there's going to be plenty of light anyway, because this window is framed incorrectly, but I'm going to reframe it, and it's going to come down. So it's going to be a 54 inches down, and right now it's 36, so it's going to come down about another 2 feet, 1.5 feet. And then here's going to be a nice glass patio door. So I think it's going to get plenty of light. And my goal is, when you come out of here, have a patio, nice patio off the master and kind of in the backyard. And then here we'll be going into the bathroom. What I'd like to do is like a barnyard door or a barn door to go in there, but we'll see what happens. So now I'm going to come up here, show you guys the upstairs. And up here is where we're going to have 2 other bedrooms. And I was hoping this would be a lot farther along. I just banged my head. I wasn't expecting that. But this is coming out, and the second bedroom, or the one of the bedrooms up here, is going to be clear over here, over top of this master. So the one bedroom will be right in here, and then we'll loop around. The other bedroom will be back in there. And I'll show you guys, which I was hoping this would be a lot longer. Of course, you guys all know the issues I had with the first contractor. Second contractor, I hired them back in October. Finally, last week, I had to find somebody else to finish the roof because they just were not showing up. We're not getting the job done. I hired them to get the roof on, and they would show up for a couple hours here and there. They weren't consistent and just weren't getting it done, and then they wanted a bunch of additional money. So it wasn't going to work out with them, so I went ahead and hired somebody else. which was probably for the best because a lot of the stuff they did, I'm gonna have to end up redoing because it just wasn't done properly. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but all these rafters, which I'll go downstairs and I'll clip it in, and I can probably walk over here and show you guys. All these rafters are not sitting well. It'll be easier to see from the other side, so I'll go downstairs and show you. But the rafters just aren't cut right, so they're really not super load bearing, which it's okay because they're essentially just for show, but or not for show, but the original ones are there. But the goal was to have these, and they were supposed to straighten it out in here, which they didn't, but that's beside the point. So last Tuesday is when I put in all these supports and these additional supports up here. They hadn't done any of that. They took them all out and then just didn't put them back in. I'm really not too happy with them at all, but I'm learning my lesson. From now on out, I think the best way to handle a contractor is just to hire them for one single job and then have them do that. When you have them do multiple things, that's when I start to run into all these problems and stuff. So I'm gonna come in here and I'll just show you guys like how these rafters are cut. Let's see if you can see, but there's a gap there, so they're not sitting flat on that top plate, and that's consistent all the way along. Like, I don't know how good that video is going to show it, but that's consistent all the way along. So it's nice because it allowed them to be nice and straight, but none of them are really load bearing on that wall or bearing down on it. So I think that kind of defeats the purpose. Now I'm going to go down, show you guys the basement. It's going to be what most people would probably say is the worst part of the house, but as you guys saw in my other video, we got the whole basement is waterproofed, and then the chimney was right here. So the chimney is out now. So now the basement is just wide open, and there's lots of possibilities for down here. Obviously, my plan is to rip this entire floor system out and redo it all. Right now, it's about 6.5 feet. And I think once I'm done, it's going to be a little bit less. But my plan is, right now, these 2x8s run 16 feet. What I'm going to do is get 2x10s, have them run 12 feet. I'm going to put them 2 foot on center. Right now they're 2 foot on center. I'm going to put them 1 foot on center. I'm going to have a beam running at the end of the staircase, and I will have them joist hangered into that beam. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, bring it this way, the same amount, and I'll have it joist hangered into that, and then I'll have joist hangers in the middle. And that's going to be the best way because the staircase is going to provide a natural break where I can have beams to support it, because I can obviously support it on both ends, but I can have beams in the middle, and that's going to be a natural place for it. So I think that's going to turn out really good and make this a lot stronger than it is. Well, it'll definitely make it stronger because the wood's going to be 2 inches. It's going to be 2x10s instead of 2x8s, and they're going to be twice as often. They're going to be 1 foot on center instead of the 2 foot on center they are now. I might end up keeping one of them since it's all here, old growth lumber. I might keep one of them and just put a 2x10 to it. That I haven't decided yet. Again, you guys can let me know what you guys think. If you have any comments, suggestions. I'm going to take this oil tank out, and obviously you guys can tell this has came a long way from what it was at the beginning of the year. It's completely gutted now. We have the new electric run underground, and then this is just under the existing house. There's an opening over there, which I haven't covered up right now, so I'm not going to go into it. But in that opening, that goes into the crawl space, and the crawl space has about 5 foot of height in it. So it's a pretty nice space. I think it would be nice to make like a little cold storage in there, like to store food like potatoes and vegetables and stuff like that. I think that would be a really good use for it. All in all, we've made a lot of progress here. hoping to make a lot more progress next year. I had a lot of holdups this year with different contractors and various issues, which that's just part of building, part of a lesson learned. I'd never had a contractor or hired one before. This is my first experience hiring contractors, and I'm kind of learning my lesson. But now I'm going to walk back outside and just go over a few things we did out there. So walking out the back door here, you guys can see the garage. I haven't done anything with the garage yet. The plan is obviously it's going to get the same roof as the house did, same color siding, and essentially match the house. But I just waited to do that because this drug on so long. I didn't want to be doing that in the winter like I was having to do with this. So that's going to be a spring project. And then I'm sure you guys can see we got the addition on. The old addition came off. And then when we come up to the front here, the front porch is off. So that's going to be the plan for next year, is going to be rebuilding a front porch. And I don't think it's going to be enclosed this time. I think I just want an open porch, but I do want it to be covered. And what I'm deciding on is what type of roof pitch I want. I think I'm going to keep it about the same roof pitch, but I think I'm going to make it about 1 foot inside the current roof pitch. So it's not like lining up exactly or coming all the way to the end of the house. I think I'm going to make it a foot short and bring it out. Let me know what you guys think, because again, I'm open to suggestions here. The front door staying in the same place. There's going to be a big window here, and then where that other window is, there's going to be a big window. Basically the same size as this front bedroom and the dining room. I like a lot of natural light, so I'm putting a lot of natural light in here. I want to make this as nice as I can, make it like I'm going to eventually possibly live here. So that's why I know a lot of you are commenting, you know, stuff I'm doing is not necessary. Nobody would be doing it, blah, blah, blah. But I want to do this the best I can. I don't want to make any shortcuts or stuff like that. If it costs a little bit more to get it done correctly, that's what I want to do. And again, this zip sheeting on this side, this is just temporary. I got all new zip sheeting, so all this is coming off and new one will get on, but that's going to be a little later on. I'm just really glad we're finally dried in and it's finally starting to take shape and look like something. So let me know what you guys think, if you have any comments, suggestions, and what you guys want to see videos of, what you don't like seeing videos of, and will kind of give me a good point to base off of for next year. But all in all, I'm really happy with the progress, and when I'm doing this and going around, it seems like not a lot is getting done. But then when you look back at everything that has got done this year versus how it started last year, you're like, wow, it is actually making progress, because all this is dozed out. The front yard got dozed. We got a ditch in here, so this is all nice and flat now. The front's all one grade, and then coming along the back, there's a ditch. A bunch of these big trees have come out, so there's less chance of stuff falling on the roof. You know, most of the outside framing has been done inside. Have a little bit more to finish up, but it's hard to tell, because in the moment I always want everything to go faster and to get stuff done in a more timely manner. But even with all the setbacks, this has made a lot of progress over the past year. And I think hopefully 2026 will be the year to get this pretty much finished up. If everything goes perfectly to plan, I hope by mid-February I have all the sheeting around the house complete and all that's done. And then I hope March I can tackle the floor system in there. And if by the end of March this is all sheeted up, taped up, weather tight, new floor system, that'll be making great progress for me to keep getting it knocked out. Another thing I'll show you guys in here, which the contractor I hired in October, they were supposed to build this second floor up in here that would go to essentially the ceiling or the second floor, and that just didn't happen. I really don't know why. It was going to happen at some point, but like I said, I think they just bit off more than they really wanted to do. It got cold and then it just didn't work out. So I'm going to end up doing that too, but that's not a big deal. So hopefully by the end of March, all the floor system is done, all the outside sheeted. I'd like to then get started putting the windows and doors in. That might be a good thing to do in April. And then May, work on all the electric and plumbing. I'm probably going to hire somebody to do the electric. I hired somebody to do it the first time, like put the box on the other side, and we're going to run electric from the house over to the garage. So hopefully by next summer, everything's roughed in. I can get started on the drywall. The drywall is something I might hire out because that's going to be a really long process if I'm trying to do it myself. So that I might hire out. But again, just follow along. I'd love to get this thing wrapped up by the end of next year, but we'll see what happens. And then of course for the garage, my plan is to move this door to this side. So you come in the door basically where that window is. On the left of it, you have a bathroom, and then on farther back to the left, kitchen, and then all this area open for like a studio, AUD, and then underneath, obviously, just garage space. It's a nice garage. The ceiling height is up here, we're 8 foot. Downstairs, I think we're 9 foot, maybe 10 foot. The garage doors are 8 foot garage doors, so that's really nice to be able to get stuff in. It's just a little bit short for my excavator. That would have been really nice if I get the excavator put away for the winter, but it's just a little bit short. And then obviously the driveway, I think what I'd like to do, because right now it comes here and it kind of sucks to have to walk all the way up. So what I think is when you're coming up, because all this I would just want to keep open, probably the new septic, I think either the driveway is going to come up through here or I'm going to take it around the other side of the garage. The only reason I don't like it right here is because it's a little bit of a hill, and just driving the truck up here, occasionally you slide. I don't want anything to ever slide into the garage. So I think my safe bet might be just wrap it around there. Then I got parking behind the garage and all the way up to the house. Again, the front door is going to be here, but I believe ultimately the back door is what will be used the most. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. It's been a great year. Made it to 1,000 subs. Hopefully next year is even better. We get a lot done. The videos keep getting better. And again, if you guys like these videos, please like them, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, share them with your friends. Thanks for watching. Have a great next year.